Hi guys, how are you, my beautiful friends? I'm here today with Flo, looking amazing.
Hi Juan, hi everybody. Thank you for watching this video and welcome to this show when we will be talking about what?
Ourselves and what is being an starseed, because if you
Yeah,
don't know, many of you are starseeds.
that's the reason why we're doing this video together to tell you about our experiences and see if there is any coincidence in between our own personal journey with yours.
And I'm here from Mexico City, so I'm really far, far away from you guys that are in Australia, and some of them in the US. So Flo, it's in what city of Australia are you in?
Yeah, at the moment I'm located in Perth. So I'm based here in Perth, Western Australia. So for the people who are watching from Australia, yeah, they're far away from you, Juan, but those in United States, they're close to you because you're in Mexico, it's just next door.
So let's start with the first question. How do you notice that you were a starseed, Flo?
So I never thought about the term starseed until maybe a few years ago, maybe 2010, when I heard for the first time about seeds, because I was reading a book about I don't know how to say this in English. The seeders of los, like the farmers, the people who seed in the world. So I was reading a book about them, and then I was like, interesting. So maybe I want one of these seeds, or maybe I was one of that people who came here to plant seeds. But before that, I always knew that I came from another planet since I was very little. So that's why I made the connection between star seeds and the possibility of me being in a star seed, basically, because I always
Yes.
knew that I came from another planet before incarnating on Earth. What about your experience, Juan? How did you know?
But it's really funny because I always knew, like you, that I was different of everyone. Like the way of thinking, for me is like everyone can be a friend, and being really open and loving everything about stars and spaceships. And if someone was talking about aliens, oh my god, I was like, what is happening? That is true. They do exist. I knew they existed. I was always searching and looking, but it took a while for me to connect to the higher energy information, or the higher beings. I knew always that I was being taken care of and guarded. But then, just like 5 years ago, I knew where my soul does come from. So that was really interesting.
In my experience, I wasn't feeling that friendly like you. Actually, I didn't feel friendly enough, maybe because I couldn't really connect with kids in my early childhood. It was very difficult for me to connect with other children in the kindergarten and school, and I couldn't feel comfortable connecting with other people and become friends of others, but friends like naturally friends, not something that you force in, something that you're trying to fit in. Friends, because like you and me, you feel like you don't need to make an effort, right? That's our friendship. Like it's
Yes.
just happen. It's not like me trying to force it or trying to do anything to please the expectations. of the other person. But it wasn't possible for me until very recently, like maybe 2019. Sorry, 2009, 2010. Then I start connecting with other people easily. But before that, it was so difficult for me. So I was very shy and I was actually very quiet. So I wasn't really friendly because I felt so scared of the world, of other people. And I felt very, very overwhelmed. And
Yes.
I used to go to kindergarten because I know, I don't think this is a characteristic of the Starseed. This is me, that for me it's very easy to remember everything. So I remember my time in kindergarten perfectly, like if it happened yesterday. So I remember how I felt there.
Wow.
I remember what thoughts I had. So I remember just arriving in the kindy, in the building, and only like seeing the building, I was like, why I need to go there? You know, why you leave me there, mom? And why are you forcing me to make friends with these strangers? You know? And then and I felt like everything was forced, and that made me feel so scared because I felt the voice of the teacher. Teacher was no bad person, no bad, but you know, I felt that she was forcing it, forcing the relationship, forcing the tone of voice. Hello, hello, you're welcome to this kindergarten. But I felt like it wasn't. I felt
True.
like she was doing her job, you know. So I was like, why all of this, you know, fake thing, you know? I mean, yeah, you know, I could feel it.
Yes.
I felt that they were normal people. Just some days they were more honest, some days less. And I was like, why she's, you know, pretending that she's beautiful, and you know, when she's nice,
Not.
but maybe she's overactive. And then I
Yes, yes.
remember the whole thing. I felt under pressure, the whole thing, like having to talk to others. And when the children start talking, I I didn't feel afraid of them. I felt so much. I don't know. I couldn't understand their. And now that I grow up, I see that back in the time there were different children than now, and back in the time the personality of the children were mirroring their parents. Like they were children, but everything they will say was mirroring the parents, the judgments, the what they say they like, they don't like, what's even the dreams. When you talk to, in that time, I'm 35 at the moment, so I'm talking about the 90s, early 90s. So I like, if the children say, I want to do this when I grow up, was mirroring. I know, because I saw that people again, like some of that people a few years ago, and they're doing completely something different, you know. But the thing
Yes.
that we say, so I was feeling very overwhelmed for all that, by all that world around me, and even television. My mom couldn't, like, I couldn't watch movies. My mom had to stop the movie when bad things happen, and a
Yes.
movie over. And so I spoke with my mother and I said, look, like, I don't know how to make friends in a school because I don't like playing sports, or I don't like talking about the things that the girls talk. And my mom said to me, but you have to do it. So just listen what they do. You copy them. So that's the way I became friendly.
Yes.
Doing, just copying them.
It is really funny because it was something like that for me also. Because at first in the kindergarten, I felt more protected. My mom used to work there, so
Your mom
it was
was
easy
there.
for me. So it was easy for me, and I felt like in family. And my mom was it was a teacher in the other room, and she was
Oh,
working, and I felt like in home in that moment. But
oh,
I
you're
also
really
was in this.
lucky. Fun. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that I was really smart. I knew I was different from other people because I, what I was thinking all the time is was different from the other kids. The other kids just wanted to play, and I was thinking about technologies or cars or something else, right? Something different, and it is a little bit of my origin because I found out that I'm an Arcturian when I or my soul comes from the Arcturian family, and they are a little bit tech guys or really savvy with really smart because they are really old beings, and they right now they normally work with lines of time and really high energies. So I was always thinking and building things in my mind. But when I was a little bit older and 6 years old, I changed of school, and it was amazingly difficult for me to merge in the school because I came in and I was waiting someone to talk to me and try to be friendly with me, and no one ever talked to me, and I was like just walking around, like in the recess or the eating something. I was alone, and I couldn't find the way of liking people because I have always been myself. I almost never be someone else. I'm like really open. I'm like this. I'm what you see is what you get. It's like eh, that's me, and I don't like to be someone else. So it was really difficult to learn how to like people, and more in those ages because you had to sometimes do something that someone else liked so you could go into the group, and it was
Yeah.
so difficult for me, and people bullied me a lot when I was in the school. And just later in the time when I grew older, and I was like 16 going to high school, I went to a new high school that had a university there. So that helped me a lot because the guys were like, they were different, like more adult, and so it was much more different, and I felt all the time different from other people. It was like now I understand why I really am different, and so you guys know is that all the souls in the earth comes from somewhere else, but some of the souls have been so much time in earth. Maybe some of them have been here evolving for 100,000 years. So some souls are like really deep into the earth, but for me it's like something new because I maybe I don't have that many lives in the earth. So it's different. So that's why you know that you're different because you don't know how to connect with people and with earth at the beginning. You have to learn it.
Yeah. However, from my experience working with the Starseeds, we are all different. We are all different, but the way we experience Earth in this timeline is different. Some people may try to fit in, and that's not a problem. That doesn't mean you are not a starseed because you fit in the groups. Some others cannot fit in because they have different soul agreements. So if your soul, so we all the starseeds have different agreements for this timeline that we are incarnating right now. So depending what you mean to do before you came to this life, so you made an agreement with many other souls, right? So if you really need to be healing certain past lives on Earth at very young age, you have to go through the experience of suffering bullying or feeling like you need to start questioning yourself who you are at 3 years old or 4 years old. If you haven't questioned yourself who you are at 3 years old or 4 years old, like I did, it doesn't mean that you are not at a Starseed if you started to question yourself at 30 or 40. Yes. It's just different paths of human life. And about being from Arcturus, Juan, you know that Arcturians at the moment cannot come back to Earth. They cannot incarnate on Earth. That's why they're helping us from another realm, yes? Another dimension, higher dimension. So only people who can expand their consciousness to higher dimensions can connect with Arcturians. So if you can recognize yourself as Arcturian, it surely means that you had incarnations in other planets before Earth. So, because otherwise it wouldn't be possible for a consciousness from Arcturus to incarnate in a body in the 80s or the 90s. I'm not really sure what's going to happen after the 2020. I'm pretty sure it's going to change. Everything is going to change. I already changed, actually, because it's 2020 already. But anyway, things are changing very, very quickly. But for us, that we were born before 2000, we should really spend time in all the planets. And depending where you spend your time, then you will be dealing with memories that have gave shape to your personality in this life and past lives. So if you were, for instance, let's say in Sirius, and then you've been spending thousands of years working in a laboratory or with technology, developing things, and then you came to Earth, being in touch with that memories make you be a person, like you mentioned before, Juan, like very into how things work, how the mechanics of the things may work, So, and surely you have past lives that are help you to awake that skills of yours from Sirius, that you learn in Sirius, of course, come from Arcturus, but it's a different frequency, different way to manifest. It's like if you are, I'm Florencia, right? But if I paint how I feel, you will see something. If I play music, you will see something different. It's the same as my emotions, but expressed in different energies. So we are a soul expressing Arcturus. It has an outcome, yeah? Create something. Expressing Sirius when you have time to work your intellect and work with other people, and then there you catch up with other people from maybe Lyra or souls that spend more time in other places. Yeah, we surely did that, and that's why when we come to Earth, we can interact with people who is different. And I noticed that majority of Starseeds incarnated right now, they've been in many other places before this, because otherwise it wouldn't be possible to do our job in this incarnation. The main thing right now, from my perception, is to awakening the consciousness of oneness, what we call Christ consciousness. Very simple, as Jesus said, love each other. That's the consciousness of one. Simple as that, yeah. But apparently it's being difficult because we are making war, eating each other in relationships. We discriminate people from other social classes, from other skin color, from other, you like metal, I like punk rock, it's being complicated to love each other. But the Starseeds, for them it's easier to love someone who's different because we spend time in other planets like Pleiades or Sirius, that the main ones, the Starseeds, the majority of them come from that places, because in there, it was, for me, my perception of it, what I channel is I see Sirius, some places in Sirius and some places in Pleiades, pretty much like New York or Sydney. Places where you see different languages, different skin colors, different backgrounds, It's a bunch of completely different people that all of them believe themselves Americans or believe themselves Australians. So they build in a culture based not in what makes them different to each other, but what makes them feel as one. Makes sense what I'm saying?
Yes, but it's amazing because you were talking about Syrians, and that's exactly what I say. Is that if I was, if I came here just as an Arcturian, I would be like Sheldon. You know, Sheldon in the program of TV.
Yeah.
He'd be like, that those are the Arcturians. It's really difficult to talk about emotions because they are really really smart and they connect with the really male energy. But then I had to work because if I was coming here and to meet people and to make friends and to share the new things, the new ideas, like this program, we are sharing our experiences and it's amazing. But I had to build another energy in my frequency, and I felt I build Syrian energy as a dolphin, because people that comes from the energy of the dolphins. It's like really friendly, and they love. You can imagine like dolphins. They are always jumping in the waves and having fun and being with family. And normally they are like in really really big families. The groups are like maybe 20 dolphins, 10 dolphins, 30 dolphins. They love to be together. So if I'm doing a show, I don't like to do it alone. I like to do it with someone else, and even someone else that we haven't talked about the what we are going to be talking about here, because we want to be fresh and we want to be true. But it's amazing because you were talking about Syrians, and that's true.
And I'll tell you something more about Arcturians. The Arcturians were the first civilization from an advanced planet that came for first time to Earth. Things happen. We're not going to talk about that right now because the memories from what happened that time is still not, we don't have fully access. Even people who channel, as humans, is that computer. It still has so many limitations, even when we think we are extremely intelligent. We are still into this computer that needs updates all the time, and that's what the ascension process is.
Yes.
Right? So, and the ascension is not finished, so we will be unfolding or recovering more memories from the Akasha when the ascension process is finished. So, an ascension is physical and has happened in the collective, so it wouldn't be possible to have one human being right now who's completely ascended. Even Jesus, when he ascended, he passed. He was not anymore a human, yeah? So, anyways, the first Arcturians came here, things happened, so they left. When they left, some of them made a decision of not coming back to Arcturus. Some of them made a conscious decision, some of them couldn't make a decision because the things that happen on Earth, the vibration dropped. Since the vibration dropped, they wouldn't be able to come back to Arcturus, so they were given the possibility to move to different places like Sirius, Pleiades, and different planets in Orion. Yes, like for instance, Lyra, in the constellation of Lyra, for instance, Vega, Avion, and all the planets in there. So then they knew these people, these Arcturians who didn't return to Arcturus, they knew they will come back eventually to Earth, but it wouldn't be possible back in the time. So they spent a long time in a journey in between planets and doing things. All the things happened. The Orion War happened. Things happened.
Orion exploded.
Not giving us a
They
breath.
had wars.
So many things, and then we forgot about coming back to Arcturus, because I come from Arcturus too. But the thing is, things happen in the middle, and then eventually we got to return to Earth, from a physicality in the third dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So somehow what I see, Juan, from my perspective again, is that the different wars that happened in Orion actually help us to return to Earth at this time. Because the things that happen help us to drop the frequency enough to be able to incarnate here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able. Even Jesus or Buddha, they were not Arcturians fully. They were Syrian, Pleiadian, so they
Mm-hmm.
did the journey as well. And that's why in our present life, Starseeds, we go through many challenges that we think, oh, well, this is my self-healing journey. And we are on a hurry to finish the self-healing journey. And actually, it's not hurry, because the self-healing journey is essential for us to do what we are meant to do as humans, to remember our purpose and follow it. Otherwise, we'll be doing holidays only, right? And but the self-healing journey help us. If you're watching this video, stop a moment and think about if you could make bullet points about your self-healing journey and address, well, I have to deal with this emotion, and this emotion took me to this place and this person in this exactly moment, and you start addressing, then you're like, oh my goodness, without this self-healing journey, I wouldn't transcend the third dimension at all. Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to recover the different parts of myself that I needed to be recovered in order to come back to the oneness consciousness that been always there within myself, but I became disassociated from that oneness consciousness. And it's not about taking a spaceship and going back anywhere to Arcturus, or because if you do that, let's say you can do that, jump into spaceship and go there. I promise you, you were the person who left in first place, because that's what we are, creative beings. What do you think, Juan? Resonates with you? Makes sense for you?
I love everything you're saying because it's amazing how everything starts fitting in the same story that we all are seeing or feeling, and we have been evolving. And something that I see as a starseed is the need, you said it, the need of save everyone, or save the earth, or save my town, or save the whales. We always want to save something because we have the feeling deep in our in the plans of our life, before we came here. We know that we are here working for saving not just here or the planet. We are saving the universe, because what I've seen is that this earth is living and healing the pains and the energies that were holding back the whole universe. So imagine that the work you're doing here, imagine that when you are forgiving someone else, you are not just healing you, you're healing the universe.
The collective. In first place, the collective consciousness here.
And then the information in the collective consciousness is going to the sun. To the sun, then it's going to the central sun, and then it's been that information is being fed to God, and God is learning through our living.
And the consciousness of oneness drawing you there. As soon as you jump in consciousness of oneness, you want to heal something. You want to heal the collective consciousness, or Mother Earth, or Lyra, and because you feel like this is you. In order to enjoy of yourself, you don't need to run away. You need to be there. In Gaia, doing what you're doing right now and getting off everything else at the same time, knowing that you are all. This is nothing separate from you. And that's the Arcturian consciousness. That's why I said trying to rush the process to return to Arcturus, because I hear so many times people saying, can't wait for this to finish. I wish I will go to sleep, I don't wake up. And I also listen people saying, I don't want to live anymore. And I think if you're watching this video, pass this message on to your friends, because you don't know if you have friends that have the thoughts, especially starseeds who were born after. Because one thing about us, one is that we were born in the 90s and 80s, right? And the cons are, well, our vehicle needs to ascend. So we had to work on our vehicle more than in a starseed who were born in the 2000 or later on 2020. Yes, we have to work a lot because we needed to ascend the vehicle. Yeah, and we are ascending the vehicle with all the memories from the family tree, all the biological thing we took, because we asked to that family, can I borrow you? Can I have this Argentine lady to do my mission? Yeah. Okay, and in exchange, when I'm in her, I'm gonna work all the genetics of her, which in other words means I'm healing my family tree, my ancestors, and all that work, right? We are all doing right. So if you weren't born in the 2000, your parents did it for you. Good on you. But because we work on that, the good thing about us is we got the time and the experience to build resiliences.
Be ready.
People who were born in the 2000, yeah, they got the job half done. But the thing is, because they haven't worked much on ascending their bodies, the resiliences are weaker. That's why we need to help each other, not thinking, okay, you're lucky because you were born in the 2000 and I have to work with these parents and you have the better parents. Yeah, but we all need to collaborate because we have resiliences and we are like more tough, in other words. But the new souls, they are much weaker and maybe they feel this thing of overwhelm. I want to run away. And that's why the other team,
they are really soft.
They know it, so that's why they make new drugs, like pills with colors, and it's always a drug here, to help you to what? To escape. Platforms for watching television, series, everything is something given by society to help you to escape. And if we don't have resiliences, it's easier to fall in the trap. And it's easier to fall into this feeling of, I'm sick of this world. I want to go back to Arcturus, Lyra, and I changed my name in Instagram, and I change everything. I even do something in my face, and I become a Lyra, a lion or something.
Yes.
It's cool, all right, but as long as you're not trying to escape, because as soon as you go back to Arcturus, you will realize, actually, I want to come here.
And I want to come back again. That's amazing, because I just I had some patients that they didn't want to eat, or they eat really because they didn't want to be here. So I was telling her, to acknowledge their feelings and say like, hey, you're right, Earth sucks, it's horrible, the energy is, we all want to go back, but
I don't want to go back.
But what I tell her is that the thing, and the amazing thing, is that we all made a promise and we are in a mission for saving everyone. So if you are here and you're really soft and really loving and you can feel everything, is because you're in a special mission of bringing energy of love into the earth. So that's why you are really soft and and you feel everything because you're really a really loving person.
But Juan, another thing to tell to this person working with you is turn on television. What do you see the stream media is telling you? The stream media is telling you that this world is amazing. The stream media tells you this world is amazing. Humans are amazing. Stay here. No, stream media tells
No.
you completely the opposite. The stream media tells you this world sucks. War, pandemic. Don't go out from your house. Stay at home. Hashtag home. You know, don't hide. So, guys, doubt. Every time you see something in the stream media, if you feel the same, start questioning. That's my advice.
Yes.
Because if the stream media tells you this world sucks, surely it doesn't. Surely this world is actually so amazing. But they're trying to put ideas in your head so you don't get involved. And the world, yeah. So for Arcturians, Gaia is a sister. We are not helping Gaia. We are not here to save Gaia. We are Gaia. So if you want to go home, this is home. Gaia is home. Yeah, it's not different between Arcturus, Sirio, Lyra, and Gaia. Gaia is so spectacular as any other place. It's just different. We experience ourselves in different way. If you don't like what you experience about yourself on Gaia, it's because you don't like yourself. And if you don't like yourself, I invite you to remember you are a starseed. And if you are in a starseed, what is a seed? Is something that eventually needs to flourish. Imagine a seed that doesn't like itself. It will never flourish and will remain seed forever. So we really need to start loving ourselves. And loving yourself is like putting water into that seed. Give it a try. At least give yourself 1 year to see what happens if I do these crazy experiments of loving myself. And I'm not talking about putting photos in Instagram, applying 100 filters, and be like, I love myself. I have like 100 likes. No, I mean, loving yourself is love everything. Love if you're a woman, your videos. Love the pain. Love the feeling of the cold outside. Hey, we can feel cold. Love sweating. Love the many things that being a human give us. And if you still have doubts, go to hospital, speak with the person who's in a bed without being able to suffer cold, anything. Yeah. And tell them, would you like to suffer a little bit sweating? Would you like to suffer a little bit walking and making your legs to be sore?
Your legs.
See what I say? I actually have one of my friends in Argentina. He's very popular though, but he had a car accident. He's ages ago when he was like in his early 20s. Maybe you know him from Facebook. And he, so basically, he's after the accident that he damaged his spinal cord, he can't do anything, only talk. Yeah, so he needs assistance from all the time to do everything. So yeah, being not able to feel, and I know feelings, we are like, oh, I'm overwhelmed by feelings, it's so painful, it's so this, but it's a way to start enjoying it. And even I do hypnotherapy, right? I'm a hypnotherapist, and we have one ¿cómo se dice? Línea, like one type of hypnotherapy is hypnobirthing. And we teach, the key thing in hypnobirthing is to help the woman to enjoy of the pain of giving birth. And it's possible. If you research, you will see it's actually possible. So maybe you listen and you're thinking, what is it like? What have to do with the Starseed? What she's saying about giving birth? But it came to my mind that we have the power. We are powerful enough to enjoy every single experience on Earth, including giving birth or including dying.
For me, it was. I can tell you that I experienced something amazing, but for some other people, it was really strong because I experienced a friend leaving the earth. He died. So
Okay, in front of you.
we he was really he was going sick and sicker and sicker, and then I knew we had to go to the hospital because I knew he was not passing through some days, and he was a little bit far away in another city. So we went. When I arrived, I saw something amazing because I have been working with my third eye, and I could feel that the doors of heaven were open. Oh my God! It was so nice. I could feel
How
the
did you
energy.
feel it? Tell me more. How did you feel it? How a person can have the same experience as you? Because so many people have loved beings in that condition. What did you
For
do to be able?
for
Yeah.
example, when I arrived to the hospital, it was like the doors of heaven were like open, ready for him to get ready to leave. So he was gonna decide the moment he was gonna leave. So I was feeling like really calm and really loving. That's the energy coming from the heaven, from this higher dimension, and I was feeling like really nice. I always like to do funny stuff, so I was calling to. I went up with him, and it was like I'm gonna try to help him to get ready to go into the other side. And I called some energy friends, and they told me, "Okay, don't worry about him. I'm gonna be working with him all the time. So you go back and work with everyone else downstairs."
Okay,
Because there
his
was the
family.
family and the brothers and the mother and his partner and many people there. So I went one by one, trying to, how are you? How do you feel? And I was feeling if I could open a little bit more the conversation or not, or just giving more comfort. But it was really beautiful this process, because it took like 3 days, and then on the last day I felt that he was gone, and the doors of heaven were closed, and I got the call like 5 minutes later that he was gone, and I could feel that my energy dropped. So I was connected to the energy of this heaven, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling now tired and a little bit sad. No, I cannot do it. So I fastly go and get some. For me, the sugar helps me a lot for rising energy, like really fast. And I needed some sugar, and I like
Me too.
balancing it up.
Which is
I,
unhealthy. I know it's not healthy thing, but I hope someday at a certain completely I don't need more sugar. But yeah.
yes, but what I like is that our bodies are really smart and perfect, so they know how to process
If
sugar.
that's you
Yes.
for sugar, go for it. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes.
so
And
so so so, so
yeah.
that moment was amazing. That was really beautiful, and some other could say that it was the worst time of their lives, right?
Juan, do you think that star seeds we will be drawn to that kind of experiences at least once in our life, like to be there in a group of people that are surely suffering because it's her son and her partner dying, and you needed to be there? Do you think for other star seeds this will be the same? Like they have to be in that surroundings at least once in their life to bring the energy?
Yes, I think that we have it in our mission, and we always go into places that people needs our help all the time, and you're really happy giving the help. It fills me up helping people. If I have many patients, I'm really happy. If I have like not many patients, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like really happy today. What is happening? But if I help many people and they're like, I feel the joy, and people at the end of the therapy, they're like really happy and they feel better. And like, oh, yes, we need more people to join this process of helping others. And
to raise the frequency. If you're watching this video and you feel like you're a starseed, bring yourself to places where you need it. Like, I'm not saying become an awkward person and walk in a place where strangers, like the hospital, and help everyone. You don't want to feel awkward, but just if you have the intention, I promise you that you will be actually aware of the needs of others, because everyone is in need somehow. Like, there's always someone who will need our hug, our energy, telling them about some experiences we had. This always, like, but we need to start looking around and stop being focused on the belly button too much, and start looking around and being there for people. Start use your third eye. Using your third eye, like I always teach in the chakra healing workshops as well, because I know the girls, majority of the girls, they always want to, when we start the third eye chakra, the main thing is I want to see other realms. I want to see aura and pellets and spirits. And I unfortunately need to tell them that that's not the purpose of the third eye. Third eye, in first place, use it to see beyond what is in front of you. And it demands to, okay, you're catching up with you go to work. Don't look in the surface. Third eye is what opens that gate, like one said before, about, okay, I'm functional here. I need to go downstairs and connect with this person. Third eye draws you to, okay, talk to his partner. You know, it's not something you do from your rational mind. It's your third eye that is opening that portal for you to be like, my energy fits here now because I have this that person needs. So if you want to work on your third eye, when you leave your house, you jump in the train, when you enter into your office or any job you have, connect, see beyond what your physical eyes see. That's the mission of the third eye. And I promise you, since you start seeing beyond, you don't need to look for anyone to help. You will be there. And you're like, oh, now I'm in this synchro destiny when I'm drawn from one place to another, and I said the right thing, I shared this thing of my life, and this person needed to listen to it. And I opened the door for this person who I saw that she wants to leave. I didn't need to talk to her. Work. We communicate. But we need to start to at least wish to connect. And eventually you will see that you're not only connecting to others. The more you work on connecting to others, the more you connect with yourself. And the easier will be for you to know, do I need to eat? Do I need to rest? Do I need carrot today? Or today I need broccoli or sugar? Do I need to be quiet? Do I need to be surrounded by people? And we start making questions even to live in this mechanic thing that at this time, dinner, at this time, I need to catch up with this one in the agenda, you know? The 3D agenda, and start listening. What do I need? Who I am? How I'm feeling? Because if you want others, because I always listen to people saying, they don't understand me. Okay. If you expect them to understand you, first of all, start you knowing who you are, because otherwise you won't be able to communicate to others what your needs are. And that's a common thing in Starseeds as well. Yeah. And the other team, you know, there's here on Earth, we had a bunch of different beings, and some beings, they are trying to stop ascension because for them, the best is not to ascend. They know that. No one is back here. Just even the most closed-minded reptilian, they know that. But for them, the key thing is to keep fighting in the world because that's the best way, whatever. They try to do what for them is the best.
It's better.
So,
yes.
So that's why that will make you, the other team will always try to make you repress and not listen to yourself, right? So what do you think, Juan?
I love everything you're saying because it's resonating with me, and we need to connect with ourselves. For example, I work a lot with the trust because I always felt that I could do things or heal people with my hands, but I've never was able to accomplish that. So after so many years, I had some messages, like really clear messages, and I went to have a course of Arcturian healing codes. I was like, what is that? I don't know. I want to take it. It looks cool. And I went there. I had that course, and I started healing with these codes, and I started feeling things funny, and I started knowing things. But at first, you don't say like, "Oh, I think he has some pain in the stomach, maybe."
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything. But the next time, I was like, "Hey, are you feeling bad from your stomach?" He was like, "Yeah, how do you know?" Come in. Can I put my hands in you a little bit? Maybe it helps some energy, like Reiki. I don't say what it is, like Reiki. Sure, Reiki. Everyone knows Reiki. Like, okay, I put in my hand, and I was putting some energy, and then afterwards, people say like, "Hey, you really healed my. I don't have any pain. I don't have the pain anymore, or I'm feeling better." Or maybe some people. I was with a friend that's like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe that day in the wedding you told me something. It is in my mind all the time. It's like, you helped me a lot. Thank you very much." Like, I was in a wedding giving therapy,
Yeah, of course.
and I was having fun and was like sharing, because now every time something gets to my head, I trust myself and I say it and I share it, and I can see that people is like sharing back positive energy. So that's the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
Trust yourself, guys.
Trust, yeah, absolutely. And get to know yourself with curiosity. I think the moment we wake up in the morning and we stop thinking we know who we are and starting from scratch, like when you're dating a new person, without Tinder and anything, because now everyone knows everything. It's like a delivery thing. What do you want? Tick the boxes. So, but from scratch, you wake up in the morning, you have no idea who you are. Yeah, and keep yourself, get to know you, give yourself the possibility to get to know yourself and discover, and without being scared, because when you do that, you will definitely die. A part of you is going to die. And the thing is, we are so scared of dying, and in the reality, ourselves die every day, and every day they have the chance to reborn and configure a completely different thing, But we tend to resist, and we want all the same. We want to keep the same forever, because that is like a kind of weird comfort zone. But getting to know yourself involves dying, and involves letting go a part of you that was not wrong. It served you for a time. Like technology. We love Blu-ray or we love CD rooms they work for the time. If you want to stick to that forever, you missing the whole thing. Now we're using YouTube, now we're doing a video. Eventually, maybe we're just talking through telepathy, you know? But getting to know a new thing is being open-minded and don't suffer that much. Don't get attached to anything. Actually being excited that things are going to change tomorrow, and that's fine. Enjoy everything and keep yourself excited about what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow you wake up and you're a completely different person, and that's all right. And if being a different person involves moving houses, moving countries, speaking a different language, changing your skin color, because maybe you live in a country cold and then you move like here in Perth, like it's everyday summer, so I change, you know. We change my culture. Yeah, I cannot even watch soccer anymore because I don't feel that link to supporting Argentina or something, because now I feel more citizen of the world, and that's totally fine, you know. But why we suffer? Because we want to keep being that person that we were yesterday in the present, but our starseed will always pull you to transformation. But the ego is the
To the
mind,
change.
belief system is like, no, and we are in
He's
this
afraid.
battle.
No, don't change.
Have you made
Yes.
major changes in your life, Juan, in your journey of discovering yourself? Have you
If,
been in that process of letting go and letting die all once?
is it really funny because I always I like change. I love change. That's a good thing that I have. There's some program because part of me's program that I love change. So when I'm stuck really long time in the same place, I'm start feeling like no, we need some change. Everything needs to change. We are in a process of change. So that's fun because I'm always moving people to change. Hey guys, when I used to work in a corporation, it was like, hey guys, we need to change. We cannot be here all the time because energy moves and we need movement and we need evolution. And I cannot be what I was when I was 10 years old, because I would be like a really strange old guy being like 10 years old. But we are always changing, and change is good. And maybe tomorrow, what I was talking one day, maybe what I say today, maybe in 10 days, in 10 years, I'm going to say something completely different. But it's okay, because in my energy, in my moment, in my space, and with all the people that are resonating with me, it's okay what I'm saying. Maybe in 10 years, I'm going to say something different. I don't know.
How was your transition from corporate job to YouTube channel? So what did you work? What was your job about?
It was really fun, but life was taking me there because things were not going good, and life is stopping you, so you cannot, because your plan is different than what you're doing. So what you're doing in the company or in the corporation, it will not go good because your energy wants you to be somewhere else. And even I was there and I was always helping people and giving like therapies inside the office, you
Mm.
know, everything was moving me that I could not stay there. So I said like, okay, Jesus, God, or whoever is hearing me, because I don't know if things are gonna be better here in the future, and if I keep working, it's gonna be better, or I don't know if I have to leave. So I don't leave my decision with me. I leave it with you. So if you know that I have to be somewhere else, please make that the company release my contract and keep me my fee of in Mexico we received some money if we are rescinded the contract in company. So, and then I knew that it was gonna happen. I knew it. I had to be ready because I knew it's gonna be happening. So I started doing some work, preparing new things, and it started going like faster and faster. And then one day, like, hey, we need to talk to you. We see that you're not really happy here, blah blah blah. Or it's like, yes, where I have to sign.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, and I
What was your
I
job now? What specialization?
I I studied marketing, so that's why I'm really open and all the things, all these beautiful things that I love computers and I know everything about computers and I like marketing because I like to know people. I love to know people. So I was in sales for a long time, meeting people, being with people, uh, giving therapy to people as at the same time I was selling them something. It was really fun. And then I had to change, and I thought it would be okay to start giving therapies. And I started a little bit and a little bit and a little bit more, and even working that, my ability started growing, and I kept having many courses of energy and cleaning and meditations, and I also keep what we do in that place. We helped people hear better. That was the company that I was in. So I keep doing those things, but I keep also working. Now I do videos helping people to understand this thing about don't feeling from Earth, feeling like lonely, feeling like their families left you here, because that is a really small reminiscence in their memories that, hey, if I'm not from here, where is my family? They left me here. What happened? Where are they? And sometimes you cannot see them because you're vibrating lower, but your family is with you all the time. They are they're right now in my back, right, but in the seventh plane, and maybe sometimes some of the things that I'm saying, they're putting some information that is needed for you to heal or to help you. That's why we were talking, and Flo was talking about someone else. It was like, hey, your guides are putting some information here. Interesting.
And our family is also incarnated, and sometimes we cannot feel them just because we don't recognize each other. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we don't need to rush the process. Everything is, it's not that everything is perfect, but our DNA is perfect. So when we ready, the consciousness is ready to activate the memories, the person will enter into this need to make changes in their life and get to know themselves. Naturally, that will happen, and then eventually they will be able to see each other with different eyes, with the third eye. But if we look in only with the physical eyes, we will tend to see more the differences than the things in common. And I see it. I was, even before this video, I was talking with one of my clients' friends, and we were talking about this topic of twin flame, right? And she's like, "Oh, I don't think this person is my twin flame because we are different." And I was saying to her, the fact that we cannot recognize ourselves in the other person, twin flame, soulmate, family, the name you want to give it to it, it doesn't mean that we are not connected, that we are not a family or twins. Yes, the egos will always make us try to find similarities based in our in our eyes, in our rational mind. Yeah. Or I don't know, I eat sugar, I don't eat sugar, so we're different. I don't drink, I don't eat sugar, and this person does, so cannot be my family. That's very in normal in a polarized world as well.
The ones
She's
that
the
eat meat, the
Jewish.
ones that don't eat meat.
Yeah, it's I believe in Donald Trump, they believe in Biden
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
They like communism, they like something different. And maybe the people like right now doing work in the world, they are so family as well. The fact that we sometimes don't agree with each other in this human realm, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it means a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't mean we are not family. And for the Starseed, why the family from other realms are not around us? Because when I was, like I told you before about my experience in kindergarten that I couldn't fit in, actually, maybe if I wouldn't have my family, because in kindergarten, in the first years of school, I could still see my spirit guides. I could see Jesus. I was talking all the time. So that's why for me, it was more shocking the shift. Being alone, I could connect with all of this. So I didn't need anything else. Since I knew about the existence of the spirits, but I always see them sometimes, not every time I wanted, since they were not available for me 24/7 in my conscious mind. Of course, they were all the time. I had to connect with other humans. So it's not nice, like, I want to be connected with my other family all the time, but at the same time, it's actually nicer that they're not available all the time, so we can start connecting with them, but incarnated, in the way humans do. So, yeah. So, for Starseeds, it's important to know if you are actually not able to connect much to people like you, incarnated, or people like you not incarnated, is because you don't need it now, because it's a trap as well for Starseeds to create, because we are incarnated in this 3D world, which is polarity. And the trap is, if you're not prepared to meet your soulmates and still remember your soul purpose and do it correctly, the trap is you become polarized and only catch up with your tribe, with your people, stick to your twin flame and disappear from the world. And again, what I said at the beginning, the big thing, the big purpose of the Starseed is to awake the consciousness of oneness, and that's not going to happen if you only hang up with your people. Or worst, if you only can connect with happiness when you are alone, talking to spirit. Like, that's not consciousness of oneness.
Yes.
Gives you pleasure because you feel comfortable, but it still create a comfort zone that keeps you separate from what you are here to do.
Is like, for example, some of these gurus that they are not allowed to be touched or to be to talk to people, to remind people, and they are separated. They stop evolving because they need to live the reality. I have friends that they're like always meditating, 20, almost like from one to meditation to the next, and I was like, hey, where is your life? Where is being with your kid? Where is going with the family? So that is important, because that's what we came here to learn, to accomplish, how to connect everything. So that's why, if you are not ready, they're not going to show you the candies that these travels and connecting. I always like to some meditation that I do, they're like cosmic voyage. I call them that because I take people to other planets. But
Nice.
if I wouldn't connect to this Earth, I would be flying all the time into other
Mhm.
planets, and because life in those places is amazing. It's amazing because we don't know it, but the other, if I would be talking with these live beings, they would tell me, no, 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 my Earth is not important. Yours
Exactly.
is amazing.
Juan,
Earth
that
is
happened
amazing.
already. In our very recently, we experienced during the 60s, people will accelerate the process of opening the third eye, connect with other realms through chemicals, LSD,
Mm,
and see what happened. They will go
they got
out and
lost.
live in communities, and at some stage, they wouldn't even honor the physical body anymore. And yeah,
They
it's just
went.
about doing some research about the 60s and the 70s and the 50s, 60s, 70s, and talk to your parents or grandparents, or watch documentaries and see what happened when people fall in this
They were
trap of disconnecting
always
completely.
high. They were
Hmm.
always high. They were always living in the other world, and their lives were like
And they
garbage.
got lost.
And they got
Mm-hmm.
lost, really lost, and so that was one of the waves of these star seeds that came into Earth. And as we said, nothing is perfect, but
Yeah.
it was really difficult for them to hold to this Earth because they were really sensitive. And then
But Juan, the system collaborated. The system
I
felt it
know, I
and give them the
know.
candy.
Yes,
Use our
obviously.
escape. Waste,
They, they
waste your
made the
life.
drugs.
Don't
Yes,
bother.
they made the drugs. They showed them how to use them. They showed
Absolutely,
them this is
absolutely.
really cool
Yeah.
because the other side didn't want them to wake up
Mm-hmm.
because let me share a little bit of what is the life of these of the other guys, and so they are the mighty powerful guys that they own everything. They live in Switzerland in really big mansions, and they have everything: planes, cars, helicopters, food, everything they ever wanted. They have it there. So, do you think they want to leave their castles and their big money? No, they don't, because they have slaves working for them. We used to be the
And that's
slaves.
their
We're
comfort
we're
zone
cutting
as
those.
well. That's their comfort zone, and they will resist
Yes, yes, because
and not leave it and do
at
everything
the
to stay
end,
there.
when in the future, when the Earth evolves, they're gonna evolve too. They're gonna be going
Yeah,
to the light too,
yeah,
because
yeah.
the
Because
whole
we are all brothers and
consciousness is
sisters.
gonna be saved.
You have the different scales of what means resistance. Resisting in your individual, like we said before, if you don't want to, you feel like leaving your job because you're not happy anymore there, because you need to renew yourself, but you delay it or you don't want to. And in big in a scenario, people quit for so long, thousands of years, been owning the world basically, and their resistance surely is bigger than yours in your little job at the end, being one employee, you
Yeah.
know. So imagine the owner. So for them, and we see it all the time in the series in Netflix, you know, like when they show you big mafia people that you see, for instance, I don't know, Pablo Escobar, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just highlighting when you see that everything is at risk, and you feel like when you're watching these series, and you're like, why, if everything is at risk, why you don't step out? You know, but they can't because they stay there to the end in every, not
Mhm.
only series, like any pick any of the stories of people in the world, who were powerful very quickly, or not very quickly, kings, but they will attach, even when from outside it's easy to see, that there's no happiness, there's no enlightenment, there's no. But for them, Hitler, like, it's difficult when they get into that. That's no matter how advanced is the soul, enter into that trap, of the 3D, which is amazing. It's actually a good trap because it's functional as well. Because it's the quickest way, the egos are the quickest way to transcend this. Because if the people, all these people who were actually making trouble to others, if they wouldn't be blind with the egos, they will stay for longer. Because we were blind with the egos, they, like we say in Spanish, cavan su propia fosa, ¿no? Es como que they make their own booty is the word, like, they work on self-destruction. It's so perfect. The Matrix.
They dig their own.
They dig their own thumb.
I forgot.
Yeah. We do. I mean, we are the same, right? Try anything. If you will stay in corporate when you didn't feel it anymore, or people stay with a partner that you knew, or whatever thing, you just do it because it was your comfort zone and you want to resist. At the end, you're just working on self-destruction. And that's amazing, because self-destruction gives you the possibility to die and come back. And we see and try again from scratch. It's like when you're playing a game and you're doing very bad, better to finish and start again. And for us, it's so difficult sometimes to see our loved ones pass away. And we're like, oh no, why grandfather passed away? But honestly, grandfather already made so many decisions and he wouldn't be able to change anything. So maybe the best thing for grandfather was to leave this plane and come back as a children and start from scratch again,
And opening the doors of these new options, or these new for them, is amazing. And leaving them to see the world again and see it clean. It's so being a baby with a new mind. That was the idea of the world, having everything new again, have a new opportunity of living. But I want to tell you something really, really fun. And if you think that you're like really bad and you have made everything wrong, don't worry, because I know someone that really, we said metió la pata. He made something really, really wrong. And that was Jesus. And let me share you this story, because it was amazing, because I felt I was taken to a friend when she came to Earth, and I was seeing that she came. I saw her coming in the moment that Jesus was being held in the cross, and I felt really mad, because it was like, hey, Jesus, why are you in the cross? It was not supposed you to die in the cross. That was not the story. What are you doing there? Get out of it. Like, use your powers and save yourself. What is wrong? I was up there. I felt I was up there in this other frequency, in this other dimension. Maybe a ship, I don't know. It was somewhere else. I was looking down and was like, what are you doing? And I knew, and I noticed that he made an error in the process. Jesus was mad because when he entered to this church, there were people selling the forgiveness of God. And
and he was mad, very human.
Jesus experienced ego, and he was really mad.
I thought exactly the same. But hey, that helped me a lot to see, okay, I'm that person many times, but if he could fix his mistake, I could fix my mistake as well. But
yes. And if you have a mistake, don't worry about it. Jesus has made it worse.
Yeah.
Because the line of time was written not to die. He was not programmed to die in this line of time. So when
Okay.
he made that, he broke the line of time, and because he was really really mad. And then when I heard it, he said, God, I lost the line of time, and I trust you completely. So I surrender you the control of the lines of times, all the lines of times, everything
Mm.
to you. So I accept anything that I have to learn and to process. So that's
Mm.
why one day before, if you could see, I saw Jesus was maybe 10,000 people were with him. He had thousands of followers. You cannot imagine how many. It was amazing. So if they saw that someone was going to kill him, there was going to be a revolution. So what Jesus did, he told his friends to take the people to another place, and he said, I'm going to talk to you guys in 2 days in this mountain. And he took
Mm.
everyone to somewhere else. So when it was a time for them to the governor to make everything else and to take him to the cross, so there was no process, because he knew that there was something else that God knew he needed to experience that, and he had faith in God and let it happen.
Mm.
So trust,
Mm.
and so just
Yeah.
if you made something wrong, don't worry. He
Yeah.
made it something bigger.
Yeah.
So you're
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Should we
And
leave
this,
this
yes, yes, yes,
today and continue another day?
yes, yes. It is
So
so fun and talking
yeah,
about
it's like
everything.
already 1 hour and 23 minutes. So I think it's
Oh
a big
my
video for
god.
people
Yes, yes, yes.
to watch
So
already. For us, time flies. So I felt like it was very quickly, but if you're watching the video, it's already like long time listening to us.
happens to me all the time. Happens to me all the time. Like I'm trying to do like a short video. Like yes, yes, it's so amazing. Having so much fun.
And I think that that last message of yours is something that we all need to process, and integrate. It's not just what he once said, but I think we need to continue reflecting on that after the video.
Ah,
After
yes,
the video
yes.
finish, I think, yeah.
So thank you very much for everyone for being here. I hope to see you soon again, and we will be getting ready
Yes,
for new shows.
yes, absolutely. And maybe we can do something similar in Spanish as well and see, I don't know, whatever thing is needed, I'm here to to open my heart to the experience.
Uh,
Mwah! Thank you so much to everyone. Starseed, love yourself, reflect about Jesus' story. That is pretty cool. And do something for the rest of the human beings so you become happy. Because the key of happiness for Starseed is opening our heart for other people to suck themselves in our love. And that's the key of happiness.
Thank you very
All
much
right.
for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mwah.
Flo.
Thank you, Juan. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye bye.